Hello, how are you? Let's begin today's lesson, reading comprehension. You can find this in your student's book, pages number 12 and 13. Let's begin by discussing our objectives for today. What do we want? We want to discuss the headings and the subheadings. We want to discuss the type of the text, and finally, to discuss the main themes in the text. Let's begin by looking at this portion of your book. Memories is the unit's title or the unit's heading. Lost in New York is the unit's subtitle or subheading. These questions are prompts that get you to brainstorm or that get you to think in a certain direction or in a certain way. And finally, we have unknown white male as the title or the heading of the text. Okay, let's ask ourselves, what is the type of the text? I'm giving you a hint here and I'm telling you that it tells a true story. So, it is a narrative essay. Essay means that it is a piece of non-fiction, so it is not imaginary, it is a true story. Narrative means that it is a story, it gives me a series of events, so a narrative essay. Let's begin discussing the themes of the story. So number one, we talked about Doug's memory loss and how he found himself suddenly on a subway train, how he did not know his own name, he did not know anything around him, and he did not know how he had gotten there. Then we began describing Doug's appearance. So we said that he only carried with him a phrase book, a bunch of keys, and a map of New York. And he had worn a t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops and carried a small bag or a rucksack. So anybody who looks at this person would think that he is a tourist. Number three, after he went to the police station and after they took him to the hospital, we started discussing the severity or the intensity of Doug's situation. So we said that he could form sentences and he could speak normally, but he had very little knowledge of the world around him. So he almost did not know anything. And finally, the diagnosis was that he had something called total retrograde amnesia. So this was something that even the doctor said that he only had read about in his textbooks and seen in movies, and he did not even think that it was real. Number four, after he went to the hospital, he was recognized by his friend. So the nurses saw a number scrolled or written on his phrase book, and it belonged to his friend's mother. So his friend was called Nadine. Of course, she came to the hospital, she recognized him, and she took him home. She escorted him home. Now we got to find out who the real Doug was, his real or his true identity. We figured that he had lived in Paris, he was very rich, he owned a house in downtown Manhattan where he lived with parrots and dogs, and that he had worked in the stock exchange before he got bored and decided to move to New York and to enroll in a course in photography. Now, Doug went on to meeting his family and his old friends, and his sisters had commented that he had changed in a way, meaning that he was sociable, he was outgoing, but he was afraid of showing his feelings. So this was Doug before the accident. After the accident, Doug remained sociable and outgoing, but he became more relaxed and he became more open about sharing his feelings. So he was not afraid of holding back his feelings. Number five, the story ends by telling us that there is a documentary about Doug. This is called Unknown White Male, and we said that the name of the documentary came from the card that the nurse wrote when she first saw Doug because she didn't know what to write. So she just gave a general description of what he looked like, which is that he was a man, he had a white skinned color, and he was unknown. So unknown white male. I want you to think about an answer for this question. What would you have done if you ever found yourself in Doug's shoes? If you were in his position, how would you act? Of course, this is very difficult to imagine, but please try. Today we discussed the headings and the subheadings. We talked about the text and the type of the text, and of course we discussed the main themes of the text. You can read the text again, rewatch the video in order to just freshen up and just remember some of the things we discussed together. Thank you so much. I will see you next time.